So if you are hearing this and you are confused as to why a few million, hopefully a few 100 million, maybe most people disappeared off the face of the earth, we're going to explain to you why and what's going on and what to look for and how to make sure that you get to eventually join them in the better place than here.
Yeah. This podcast is just fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research. Don't look suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't
Okay.
be suspicious. What? Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Welcome
To
The
show.
You just sound like a ghost.
That was way more organized than last time.
I decided to not be chaotic.
Welcome.
Which
the-
is
that was-
out of character,
that was-
which makes it chaotic.
It
what
honestly
is
caught
wrong
me
with
off
you?
guard because I was like, wait, that actually went how it was supposed to.
I almost stepped on Courtney's toes, but
That's
she,
okay.
she's had a series of things, and I didn't want something thrown at me. So
Yeah, prior to this
I
episode,
just stand back.
yeah,
Closest weapon is my monster can. I don't want
that would
that away
have
from me.
Full.
I need
That would
that.
hurt.
say prior to this episode, Phil, Mike, and I got into a pretty lively debate, and so we're like all super duper warmed up. And I feel like Courtney was dealing with the stresses of the kids
yes.
prior to coming in
Yeah.
here, so she's more
Screaming
likely
kids,
to hurt
then I come
somebody.
downstairs and there's more screaming kids.
Yeah. We were
Kidding.
screaming. We were just tense. I do
was
recognize
tense.
that when I get passionate about something that I'm really just excited to discuss, I come off very intense. And I think that that's part of the reason why Mike and I, over the years, we have such good conversation, because Mike doesn't get intimidated by
I was just gonna say
my
that.
voice.
I was just gonna say that
Because he recognizes I'm excited, I'm not angry.
Yeah.
But I just get very like, no, and I get loud and I get vibrant, and then a lot of people are like, whoa, you need to calm down. And I'm like, I'm not calm.
Not
I'm just
amped.
excited.
Yeah.
Vibrant.
Right.
Yeah. I get
see,
excited.
and
I was
Tanner,
so excited.
It is kind of funny. I don't know if Phil, if you noticed, but like when Tanner and I get into it, like Tanner gets louder, more boisterous, and I get quieter
Very
and
much
more
so.
like laser focused.
I was going to say,
You
you,
know, so
start
it's-
calculating.
it's a very-
I see your brain start working,
Yeah.
and you're like, how do I explain what I'm trying
I
to
know
say?
one eyebrow goes up, and we're very opposite
Analyze,
approaches, but it
analyze.
works so well because we recognize that in each other. So I don't know,
Yeah.
we have some great debates.
So I
That's
kind
fun
of
to be
wonder
part
what
of.
I was going to say. I wonder how Phil felt with the intensity of two brothers having a debate.
That was fun to be part of.
Good.
I liked. Yeah, that was good.
You got a little sneak peek insight
Yeah.
into.
And it's not always that intense. Like we
Rarely.
we
Sure.
were somewhere the other day, and we
Well,
were
it was an intense
sitting down
topic,
eating.
too.
Do you remember we noticed some of the pictures? We were at a Eagles Club, kind of a VFW type place, and we noticed on the walls there was some pictures up there. And Tanner and I are sitting there analyzing. We're like, oh, look at all these symbols and that. Well, look at this one over here, and we're like talking about it and like going deep, analyzing this stuff. And Courtney walked up and was like, "You guys aren't on the podcast. You guys can stop." We were like, well, we do the podcast because we do this stuff all the time anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But
No, it was-
we
that
were
was
arguing about politics, so that's
Yeah.
not.
It got a little, it was a little different. I don't know that it was even arguing. It was just clarifying.
It was
Yeah,
good.
it
It
was-
was actually
It was
very
a
good.
disagreement, like we talked
It was a
about.
disagreement. It was a solid disagreement.
But and something we discovered was in that disagreement that we didn't actually disagree. We were just looking at it from different angles. We both came to the same
Very much
conclusion.
so.
We were just, you were looking at it from the
And I
top.
think,
I was looking at it from the bottom, kind of deal.
Honestly, that was and just briefly, because I know this.
I know
is
what
still
you're going to
kind of
say, and that's kind of what I want to say too. Because I was going to.
that I feel like that was one of the benefits of Charlie Kirk was
Yes.
that he allowed people to come to the mic
Yeah.
and give them the platform in 15 minutes to explain their point of view.
Yeah.
And whether or not you agreed with how he responded, who else in our country is platforming the people who disagree with them for 15 minutes
Yeah.
and giving them the platform
Yeah.
to to discuss and explain their side. We need more of that style of discourse, and like what we just
that was
did.
his philosophy.
Right.
We weren't just. I'm not just like, oh, I know you're going to disagree with me, so I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah, and,
Instead, we
kind
hash
of on
it
the
out.
flip side of things too. Like I like it. I like that too. But maybe a little more private setting than having like 3,000 people standing around cheering you on in a stadium situation. That to me, that was not a healthy way to debate.
but you can't talk to everybody, and that gives you the chance to, it's like when if you're like a college professor and you're, hey, any questions, and somebody, you pick that person and then you answer their question and like 15 hands go down. Because you just answered 15 people's question.
Yeah.
And I'm not how many people agreed with or like wanted to say the same thing so like it's kind of a representative situation. Like somebody gets to come up and now everybody gets to hear that response, and it's like, oh, well, now everybody that had that thought now gets to hear that
Everyone
and think
gets to
about
hear
it
the
the
Well,
same
we're not
way.
just saying everybody could have access to that, and like we do, we discuss a lot of
I
stuff
think that
on
was a
here, and
great
we
way
have
to do
discussions on Discord, and there could be potentially thousands of people that were on there asking questions and doing things too.
Right.
It's just a different forum than having the cheering and screaming in the background kind of, that football like touchdown mentality.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I can see that. I think that comes down to crowd etiquette.
Because people get a
Yeah.
little,
I
you
would agree
can't,
with that.
as couth as people tried to be, that environment, there was a lot of toxic people in that crowd that you can't control.
But the irony, though, is that when he first started, 99% of the crowd were people antagonizing him and yelling things against him.
Right.
And over
But
time,
that's what I'm saying. Both ways.
But
that
over
crowd is
time,
toxic.
I agree. But over time, the one thing Charlie did do was he normalized conservative opinions to a point that conservatives on this side of the aisle, because like we talk about, we're so midline that I don't even necessarily identify as a Republican, but I am on the conservative side, so I do tend to identify with Republicans more.
Right.
But for a long time, the conservative voice became something of fear. I didn't like talking about my values that happened to be a political party lean out of fear of retribution.
Right.
And I feel like the one thing Charlie did do was he started to normalize younger voices to let them know that, like, hey, your conservative values are okay. We shouldn't hate people over their values.
Right.
And now, we had conversations about certain other political people who
Well, and
are
see, and
popular
like,
right now
and
that
not
do
to
that,
lean,
but-
not to lean one way or the other, because we do that in the middle of the road too. The experience you have with people that are more liberal, I have that same experience with the people that are around me that are more conservative.
Yeah.
If I'm not conservative enough, it's almost becomes like this, I'm a terrible person and things if I
Right.
don't lean that far, so it's weird that we have.
I almost wonder if it could be a little bit because of where we live.
It could
Alliance is a more conservative,
very conservative town
whereas Chadron is more liberal
because it's a college
because of the
town.
college town.
Yeah,
and
it
so
could
the
be.
people we would be around are going to be more on the opposite.
Drastic on
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting because our views aren't that different, but
No, they're really not.
how we feel the opposition is hitting us with our
But
with
actually,
our views.
listening to each other, not
very
just
different.
automatically radicalizing the other side of it. Understanding, hey, I'm about middle of the road.
Yeah.
Trust them on that. Listen to what their views actually are instead of just being like, well, if you say that, then that means you believe
Well,
this.
and here's the other thing too. No matter how much you cultivate your social media and the media outlets that are coming in, no matter how much you try to cultivate it to be middle of the road, it is designed, and we looked up some stats and stuff, but it is designed to cause you to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Because hate and anger and all those things, it increases passion.
Yeah.
Passion increases your need to be part of that, and all of a sudden it creates more views, more
engagement.
Engagement equals
engagement. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I will say, I have seen a dramatic shift since the assassination in the boldness of my students not to be Republican, but to share their faith.
Yeah.
That has been a outstanding positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
And I also have seen with our college students a big push towards separating the politics from the faith. And I being capable of doing that, I think is a very important thing for both sides of the political spectrum. Of people who are of faith, that you have to divide your faith from your political leanings, because neither political leaning is designed for Christians.
Yeah. I listened to most of the episode that released this week last night, and I felt bad. I missed the episode immediately following the assassination, and wanted to share my thoughts, but Tanner, you put most of it pretty much the way that I would have. I think you summarized it pretty well. But yeah, the increase in Charlie's sharing his faith on the stand instead of talking politics. He's still doing that too, but
there are
like
people who are just on the political.
But the way that he incorporated that was very admirable, and yeah, I'll miss seeing it. Even if you didn't agree with what he was saying, I really liked the way that Charlie went about talking to people, and I'll miss seeing new conversations and debates with people come up. So
on the secular side of things, talking about how it's changed the conversations in a Christian spiritual way. From a secular standpoint too, if you look through all of the anger and things on both sides, and the little jabs at people and stuff, there's so much like growth in acceptance and why are we fighting, and don't let the haters win. And I've seen a lot of that growing where I didn't see it before.
I think the edges are splitting farther, but I think a lot of the more middle ground people, the people that are willing to still talk and grow together, are coming together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't think that was the intention of whoever orchestrated, whoever made the plan for that, whether it was the guy or whether it was someone above him or whether it was a whole group of people, whatever.
Right.
I don't think that was the intent, but I think that the effect is going to be more of that.
Yeah.
So Phil, did you say you didn't listen to the episode?
I made it through like 80%, I think.
How dare you!
Yeah.
Wow.
I just had to do it.
Wow.
Okay,
I am ashamed.
I need this
same.
now.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that was such a violent one on mine.
We're drinking
Monster on my leg.
Monster, and Courtney is drinking
Vanilla Coke.
Monster's kind of my go-to just because it's
good.
a little less caffeinated, but a little more caffeinated than just soda. It's
I
somewhere
literally
in the
told Courtney
middle.
that. I drank a little bit of caffeine this morning because I was having a hard time waking up. And I was like, Courtney, I got to go out and get something that's a little less caffeinated because everything I have in the house is high caffeine.
Right.
I was like, I can go get something with less caffeine because I had a little bit this morning. But that's why I like it, is because it's not 300 milligrams.
Yeah, it's like middle of the road.
Yeah, it's like
it's a good solid.
Yeah.
A middle of the road drink for. I was talking about a middle of the road political beliefs.
Oh,
Here we go.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
Speaking of middle of the road political beliefs, did you see that China permanently banned online preaching?
Wow.
Wow. I can't say I'm surprised.
They've scrubbed it and made it
a lot of
prison sentence.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chinese prisons like.
But contrary to their previous stance,
It's like
I don't know.
previous to their their previous stance was that your messages could be approved through state media, so they
course.
controlled the narrative.
Yes.
Now
Exactly.
they just won't allow
No.
no Jesus in China.
Previously, with a permission slip.
Not even
Now,
Not even
just
like
no.
Jesus approves of your country's politics.
Speaking of bad politics, did you see the million-plus person march continued for a couple days in Europe?
Oh,
Did you see that?
I did not.
Did you know what they were marching for?
Okay, that you're getting that.
Yeah. They were marching because of freedom of speech.
yes.
And their country has gotten extremely radical. And there are actual court cases where somebody was arrested for standing on a street corner, praying in their own head, not out loud.
Oh, I remember.
No
we talked
signs.
about that. Yeah, I remember.
It was catty corner to
Allowed to pray in
a
public.
abortion clinic.
Yes.
And they arrested her for inciting, causing distress to people who would be going to get an abortion. But she was doing literally just standing on the corner, not even saying out loud.
I remember because we talked about that.
Thought
that,
police.
You know, how do
police.
you know somebody's
Yep.
not praying?
Well,
Like,
and that's the thing. As Christians, we're told to
Pray
not
without ceasing.
lie and to pray. Well,
Yeah.
pray
Yeah,
without
yeah,
ceasing.
yeah.
that was what it
So
was. Yeah.
the combination of the two, anyway. And then there's an actual court case of somebody who was praying out loud in their home and they were arrested because their neighbor was a Muslim and was offended.
Wow.
There's also, I follow Josh from England.
Oh,
He
yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
He is amazing. I love his personality. Do you know who we're talking about?
I don't.
So he's the guy who's like, I'm from Britain and I
yes, I
have
do.
gone
Never
to America. That guy? No?
I know.
So
he's the one that-
So he came over to America to kind of like just check it out.
Right.
And came to like Texas and then like loved it. And so he continued to come back more and more and more. And then
That's
so
an
he started
interesting first choice.
I know. So he started normalizing long distance driving and now he trolls Britons.
I was gonna
because-
say he's the one that made the
Yeah.
first like really popular video, right? About like if I drive 9 hours from England to what or like London,
Yeah.
I'm in like
Probably like Wales
Russia.
to Scotland.
yeah, I'll
If
pass
I
through-
drive 9 hours in Texas, I'm still in Texas.
Yep. But he's like
I have seen that.
I was gonna
But-
say everybody saw that
one of
video.
his follow-ups to that video, he's talking about how like now he'll go 2 hours to see his family, whereas before in England and Europe they see like 2 hours is like that's too much.
Yeah.
You
That's a
can't. That's
long
way
ride.
too far to go.
you know, we go
and here in
visit-
America we're like I drive 2 hours
Yeah.
to go get a shake
Right.
from Rapid City.
My
If I'm
wife's-
really craving Taco Bell, man, I'm driving 2
Taco
hours.
Bell, dude. Oh yeah, exactly. Like
my wife's family's from Ohio.
I drive 2 hours for Taco Bell.
And I've driven further.
Sorry.
I've driven further. No, my wife's family's from Ohio. So when we go visit them, we'll say we're going to the zoo, like in Cleveland, and it's like a 2.5 hour drive, and they're like freaking out, thinking we need to get a hotel room and all that. And I'm like, I've driven that far to buy some shorts before in
Right.
Denver. Like
I've
driven
literally
my
driven that
gosh.
far to
5
pick
Denver
up.
and back for
I have
Yeah.
driven that far to pick up like a document that I needed from my parents
Yeah.
for like driven there and back in a day.
Yeah,
Like,
around
I need to
you
pick
can't-
something
you can't
up
go
from home.
anywhere in under an hour. I mean, 45 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
but yeah, everywhere
I will-
around here is so spread out.
I have ridden with a friend so that he could go pick up a ceiling fan, and I didn't even get anything, and I went that far. I just wanted the good conversation.
I don't remember what we were doing, but I think it was Bryson and I, not your son, but the other Bryson. We drove clear to Springview for something once.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what it was.
I
for.
remember
We
you
just
drove
road
to
tripping with
Iowa
Baby
for
Bryson
something
would be
once.
fun.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I
We're not going to talk about that. That's not nice.
I love
That's
you,
not
Phil.
nice.
You're amazing.
I laughed. And
Can I
now
make a
that's not
suggestion?
nice.
Can Phil just speak in British accents?
That was amazing. Your British
It was
accent
really
was
good.
Did you like that?
that was
on point.
great.
It was on point. I
Do
liked
it again.
Good. No, I can't do it.
Put you on the spot.
Jinx.
I tend to fade into Australian. That's
Yes.
my
I do too.
like.
I do
I
too.
can't.
I'll try to start
No.
out from the UK, and then pretty soon, doggone it, crikey, I just fade in, and now I'm Crocodile Dundee. Dang
Yeah.
it!
You went from Tom Holland
That's annoying.
to Robert Irwin.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly
So-
what happens.
So weirdly, we were watching the
know that
Daryl and Carol show. And they're in Spain, and I don't know why, but it for the first time ever dawned on me that so much of Spain's culture is very reminiscent of and similar and bled into Mexican culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why, because of how much our culture has, like England and Europe's culture bled into America. How much Spain's culture would have influenced Mexico's culture. Because I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, they're in Mexico. And then it's like, no, they're in Spain. I'm like, this is Mexico. And then it's like, oh, duh, Spain.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
And
That
Spain
is-
has done
I don't
that to
know
a
why
lot
my
of
brain
countries.
never
That
thought
is
of that.
something I
like
did
the
take away
Philippines is like
from
that too. There's a lot of Spanish
Public
culture
school.
in the
I
Philippines.
never
Yes.
thought of that. The influence
That's
in
crazy
America.
that you never thought of it.
Well, because
Right.
I guess thinking more along the lines of how much Europe influenced America.
Yeah.
And because we just see America as like, oh, it's just America, whatever.
Because we grew taste buds.
Right. Because we like seasoning,
But we
That's
don't
another
like
thing.
we don't like hot tea. We had that discussion.
But
We need stronger leaves.
but yeah, I never even just like the kind of hat that they wore
Yeah.
in the Wild West in Mexico
Yeah.
versus the hat that they wore in the Wild West in America was actually influenced by Europe
Well-
and Spain. And I didn't.
and
my
a
brain-
lot of
I
people
don't know
don't
why.
make
It just didn't
connection
connect with my
between
brain.
like Americanized English as a language and Mexicanized Spanish.
Right.
Just because you speak Spanish out of a book or off of an app doesn't mean
Yeah.
you can get
Right.
along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
No,
Language
that
is
was-
totally different.
I
That
do
was the
appreciate-
criticism that we always had heard in high school, because
Yeah.
we always got taught, like our
Yeah.
teacher taught like Spanish,
Right.
and
Yeah,
like
one of our-
the current jargon in Mexico, it
Say,
didn't
like, you ain't even gonna be
it
able to
didn't
talk.
compute
Yeah.
that much. Like,
Like, you can
it
get
was not going to be
by,
that
but-
useful,
Right.
but
They're going to look at you funny.
so I've always made that association. So I don't know.
I did know a Mexico. Mexico.
I knew a
A
Mexico.
I knew a Mexico.
A Mexican from Mexico that did fail a Spanish class in America. But I
funny story,
also,
too.
the last thing I was going to say was, I do appreciate that Duolingo, and that's because they were teaching Spain Spanish, not Mexican
Yeah.
Spanish. Duolingo has the distinction between Spain and Mexico
yeah,
Spanish.
which I like.
Not a
dramatic
sponsor.
I
Yes.
had never thought about Spain Spanish versus Mexico Spanish as far as like
History.
our educational, because like, why would we need to learn Spain Spanish? We don't border them.
Yeah.
Because
Well, look at
Yeah.
You can learn
people
German.
in other
You can
countries
learn
that are learning
French.
English
I couldn't
School.
not
because they're wanting to move in America.
yeah,
Their English is England English, and they come here and they're kind of lost. They sound funny to us. And
they say
we're like,
water
what
bottle
in the world?
instead of water bottle.
Well,
Yeah.
but-
What
And then they,
Okay, I don't think it's reasonable the amount of dialect differences in in England, in
yeah.
the UK.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
just from-
Dude, it's
yeah, from
insane.
videos
You go like
on it.
30 miles,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
a totally
Yes.
different sound.
Yeah.
have you ever driven to the South? Like anywhere in the South that has a Southern accent?
Oh
I haven't
man,
really been south much.
So it's so funny because you're driving and you do reach a point where you'll stop at a gas station and everybody's speaking just like you. And then the next gas station, they're like, "You're not from around here, are you?" And like, you're like, "Whoa, where did
Oh,
I?"
there's
I
Mason
found the
Dixon.
line.
in the
I found the
UK.
line.
and it gets thicker more
But in
south
the
and the more
UK,
east
Yes,
you go.
It's just
so
so
funny.
packed and crammed
within
into a
Texas.
small space, though,
As you
which
work
is
your
why
way
it's
across
so
Texas,
nuts.
the accent changes.
Yeah.
There's
That's-
people who've like
Yeah.
never left their city, and they're like
Yeah.
14 generations have lived in
Right.
that particular
Which I guess in America,
place.
there's like the Brooklyn accent versus the
Yeah.
the
Bronx
Boston
versus
accent's one of my
Boston.
favorites.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of the same concept, but they have the
Yeah,
same
but it's,
problem.
that's
they don't
the
leave
only
their
place
neighborhood.
that
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Like,
in America.
like
Yeah, whereas there it's like
the
everything.
Northeast.
Yeah.
That's the only place that exists in
Boston.
America. Like
Yeah.
the rest of it is really spread out.
Like movies, like true movies that like where the characters are from Boston.
Departed.
But it's supposed to be like this really like deep movie. I can't take it
Yeah.
seriously because they're
Right.
like,
'Cause it-
you are my shining star.
They sound like they have a wish. From Boston.
Let's go get in my car. You
People
know,
from-
stuff. I'm just like, I can't take it serious. And I love that accent, but I can't take it like in a serious setting.
Yeah, people from Boston, I feel like it's like they grew up and they couldn't pronounce
I'm
the
afraid
R.
to go to Boston 'cause I
But they
pick
got
up
enough
accents.
education that now they can pronounce the R, but it's just a little off.
Have
Yeah.
you?
That's
have
the
you
Boston
heard
accent.
Are you familiar
It's
with the
entire
Baltimore?
Boston
Are you
accent.
familiar with the Baltimore accent?
Not really.
It's so funny. There's a clip of
I have to look it up. Yeah.
these guys get to the kind of it's like that's I think where a lot of the rap.
Oh
like
yeah,
wait, what? And then he's like, huh? And he's like, wait, Aaron earned an iron earned. Like, what? What did you just do? You just activated talking.
That's funny.
You leveled up your speech skill.
So Phil, my Spanish story. So when I went to college at CSU, when you go in, you would take a placement exam for English language arts. You would take a placement exam for math, and you would take a placement exam for foreign language. And so I took the Spanish, and they stuck me in Spanish 3. And it's because I knew enough Spanish to get myself in Spanish 3, and it's full submersion class. So I'm looking at my 3rd semester of Spanish, and I walked in, and I had no idea what the professor was saying because my Spanish is Mexican Spanish.
No.
I ended up dropping it because I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't know what we're saying in here.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's crazy how much difference. It's still Spanish.
Yeah. But like
But
I
it's
said,
not.
my Mexican like family Spanish,
Right.
I didn't know it well enough to make the jump.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like somebody who just learns English has a really hard time for a while adjusting to American English. It was the same kind of deal.
The closest
like someone-
I've come to that is taking my knowledge once again from my Spanish classes and going to Scholastics Day and doing their tests and stuff, then figuring out and reading through it and being like, I'm pretty good with this stuff, but I don't understand like any of this. And then, you're teaching a different. Oh,
like
it's like when I'm learning Spanish, and
that's interesting.
the test is on Mexican Spanish. It's
Those poor aliens
way
when
different.
they get here.
So
I'm trying to learn how to communicate with us.
I wonder.
Yeah, they just read our thoughts.
I wonder how it's going to be in heaven. You know,
Just
like,
instant.
it's all like, are we all going to be speaking Hebrew and we just know how to speak it?
Maybe
Are we
we'll
all
just
gonna be,
learn
like,
all of the languages of Earth.
maybe
We'll have
Maybe.
eternity.
maybe language doesn't matter. Think of like the Tower of Babel. They were all communicating. And then maybe that was the creation of language, and that's when we started not understanding one another.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wonder if it'll
Deep
be like
thought.
revert to
What if-
like pre-Babel language, or if it's going to
I'm just betting there's no language like we think of.
you just
language.
communicate
That's what I get.
differently.
What if the Tower of Babel was the moment in which we stopped being able to read each other's thoughts?
Are you,
Whoa!
Are you reading my thoughts right now?
And language, yes. And language was created. 47.
He's good.
what am I thinking right now?
He's real good.
Pizza.
That's what Phil
Nobody's
was
going to
thinking.
get that reference, and I'm
Was
going to
it
be mad
purple?
about it.
What?
Whoa, that was weird. They did it for real. They both were like, what? At the exact same time. And like hopped up out of their seats. Phil, that was weird. We just experienced something, Phil.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
That was interesting.
That was
Anyway.
almost spiritual there. That was weird.
You know, that's how I
wait to
should
listen to that
tagline
back.
this podcast. Biblically accurate Bigfoot. It's almost spiritual.
Almost spiritual. It's almost spiritual. I like that. Yeah.
Almost spiritual. but weird.
Speaking of almost spiritual, Mike, I have a surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, headphones came up. I see a book.
Sam brought this over. Apparently, this was your Bible from when you were a kid.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh.
Awesome.
I don't know how she knows that,
Cute.
but
She's right, though, because I remember this Bible. This thing's beat up.
yeah.
That's a
If you want a new
legit
one, I
Bible.
could give you a new one too.
No, I got this when, I'm trying to think, when we did the first communion, I think I got this from the church.
At the Lutheran Church
Communion at the
Alliance.
Lutheran church
Yeah.
we used to go to. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
I didn't get a
All right,
Bible
that's going to
when I
be,
went to
yeah,
catechism.
that's cool.
So
I just got to eat communion. That was all I got. they gave me a piece of paper with the
When
you've officially
I-
gone
Well,
through
we
catechism.
also saw your baby book versus your siblings' baby books.
Yeah,
That explains
it's messed
all
up.
of that.
You know what? Parents
Maybe it was before
care
that. I
about
don't
the
remember
babies.
when I got it. I just know I always had this.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
I
that
haven't
makes
even
sense. Until I
started
went to
Bryson's
college
baby
and
books.
stuff.
That would make sense.
when I was like probably 8-ish,
Yeah.
one of my Sunday school project was to memorize the order of the books of the Bible.
Go.
And then once I was done, it's been a minute. Hold
Corny.
on.
There's a song.
I could probably do it, but I'm not.
There's a song.
We're not going to take the time out for that
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
moment. But the my reward for standing up in front of the congregation and reciting them in order was I got a 3-foot Snickers candy bar.
Wow.
And one of the old ladies in our church took a bunch of Snickers and like glued them together with peanut butter and like made a
That's pretty
So you
great.
got
a
the
three.
Snickers
I got
and-
a
Wow.
3-foot Snickers.
That's amazing.
awesome.
It was
effort.
dope.
That's
is
pretty
cool.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. So Tanner, this is weird that you brought this because like you and I talked
All I got for
a couple weeks
anything
ago.
was eternal salvation.
Stop.
Yeah. that's all you're
Wow,
asking
that's pretty
for?
suck. That's pretty mid. What
Well,
a terrible reward.
I can't promise
on a
anything, but I'll sure try. But, no, Tanner and I, we talked the other day. So, when I first started this podcast, we kind of, I joined the podcast as kind of the antithesis, the, non-Christian view, the more secular view of things. And, in doing research and talking to you guys and being part of the podcast, one question that I posed, and I posed it to you and Commandy and some of the other guys, is I said, I just want someone to convince me that Christianity is real and that Jesus is real, and I need somebody to prove that to me. That's all I'm asking for. And I realized I was asking the wrong person.
Need to ask Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I've done that, and I'm getting a little emotional.
That's how you know it's real.
So
you got to stop crying because I cry in the second. I can't function when you start crying, bro.
So long story short, I'm back, and things are good. Things are good.
Hello?
We'll talk about it next. Oh wait, he's got a sound. Really? Hold on, he's got a soundbite. What is
Oh my god.
I already played it. Oh no,
I didn't even
closed
it? Play
hear
it again. Play it again.
I gotta pull it back open.
Okay. Anyway, so like our next episode, the topic we're going to talk about, I think, is kind of relevant to that too. But it's not today's topic, so they're going to have to wait to hear. I got some interesting things I want to share about that journey back.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So the soundbite was.
Hello there.
Oh,
Hello there.
that was even an accent.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
True.
Phil, hit us with a hello there with an Australian accent.
Hello there. I just sounded like I was talking a little bit. Hello there.
When
that's
Sam dropped that off, literally Courtney and I was like, "Wow, that's an important
The timing.
You can't. I don't know. For me, that's a God thing.
That's symbolic.
Symbolism.
That's
Signs everywhere.
The
He's got
Bible,
eyes
yeah,
open.
the Bible from your childhood shows back up.
Signs
the
everywhere.
moment
We're supposed to have a
Bro.
childlike faith.
Right.
Yeah.
I just gave myself
And-
trouble saying that.
And even
man.
though even in that time of lapse, like I even talked about it, like signs are everywhere. You look for them everywhere. And I was still seeing signs and looking for signs. They just weren't, I wasn't asking the right questions to the right
Yeah.
person, I guess.
I would actually
that's
challenge
the word I'm
that.
looking for.
I would say you were asking the right questions to the right people, and each of those questions were a step in
Yeah.
the
that could be.
process.
That could be.
Because
I
you-
needed that. I needed that failure.
everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody
Well,
needs to.
Tanner,
Everybody's on their own
That's
journey.
a big
remember
part of
who had
your
the
testimony.
answers. Yeah.
Because that first moment was when you stood up and you're like, I need Jesus to repaint
Yeah.
like who he is to me.
Yeah.
Like I need to put aside my
I did not give my life to Christ at that
predispositions
point. Yeah.
toward him.
Right.
And I need to like allow him to speak for himself basically.
But-
and then that was the start for you.
Right.
So yeah.
But 6 months prior to that, I had that vision that I
Yeah.
used to make fun of too.
Yes.
And I think that was part of the process. I think everything, and it is. We talk about that with our students, and one of the things I always challenge some of my like gung ho kids that are like super saved. You know what I'm talking about when I say super saved?
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
almost too saved kind of conversation.
Yeah, well, it's kind of
They're
Magoo.
solid.
It's kind of like bring it down a notch there.
Yeah, you're like, oh, hey. But one of the things I challenge them is
Still a
just
person, by the way.
to remember that the person you're talking to isn't at the same place in their journey as
Right.
you. And if you try to communicate them at the same level, they're not going to either receive it or it's actually going to take them a step back.
Yeah.
You have to be able to conversate at their level to help them in the process. You can't just throw the Bible at somebody. That's
I
not
saw a
there
video.
is-
Did I share it with you? Where it's from a movie where I can't remember. It's Mandy Moore is in this movie, and they're arguing, and it's like these little. They're like in a church youth group, and the girl says, "You know what? You need Jesus," and walks away, and the other girl throws a Bible at her. She says, "You need Jesus," and then she turns it back around or something like that. She turns back around. She's like, "You're not supposed to weaponize the Bible," and I was like, "That's hilarious." Oh my god! I'll have to find the video again.
What
and send it
is
to you. I think it was It's because it was so late. I didn't send it to you.
On a more
just
serious
send it
note,
to me.
Oh my gosh!
I put
was
my
dying.
phone. Just so you know, I put my phone
Can't
on
weaponize the Bible. Just
silent
threw it
overnight.
out. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
on a more serious note, related to that, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before. There's nothing as a Christian that I loathe more than an interaction with a super Christian. It's the worst thing in the.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
worst thing ever. Like it just. Stop. Like
Yeah.
I'm still human, you're still human, we can still talk like people.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do this.
Yep.
Like if you want to talk about, Jesus and stuff, great. Fine, we can talk about
But we're
whatever
talking
you
about
want.
football.
But
hey, what's this rule? Well, the rule
man,
is,
God's really blessing the Steelers this year. Shut up!
Praise the Lord, brother. Praise the Lord. Yeah.
Punch
Yeah, yeah.
you with the love of
Yep.
Jesus.
That's one. So
Oh, no.
with the love of Jesus.
I don't know if you guys have gotten around to
don't
watch
think we
The
have any
Handmaid's
season.
Tale, but on there, I
I
realized
haven't watched
how
it.
much
I've read it.
how much it bothered me that their response to everything was a religious.
It's the
response.
worst.
Right.
Everything
It's the worst.
was a
Right.
religious
I hate
response, and even when they,
Stop
they
it.
go to Canada
Get
and they're
some help.
dealing
Praise
with Canadian
be,
government,
right.
everything, and it's so condescending and so
Yeah.
obnoxious. And I'm like, how can they take something so that's built on love and all that stuff and make it sound so condescending and so?
That's and I was going to say this earlier.
Yeah.
That's
weaponizing.
why if you've heard the Christian term it this way, that's why we say it's not a religion, it's a relationship. Is because that we're trying to get away from that kind of like it's not supposed to be weaponized and weaponized, but it's not supposed to be like. Oh gosh, I'm losing my train of thought, guys. This is not going good.
yeah.
Like.
I know what you're saying.
Like so dry. It's not supposed to be so
stop.
dry and so like
Okay.
you know what I mean?
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'll never hear this, but if he does, I hope you know who you are, and I hope you know that I'm calling you out. So when
Offense
didn't know what- I
intended.
didn't know what you were
I
gonna
like in the
say.
offense intended
there was
segments.
Oh, dude. So
No
when
offense, but
when
I'm
I
gonna
was
be
in high
offensive.
school,
We're gonna be
I
offensive.
was getting ready to run at state track, and I think it was when I was doing the 2 miles. So it was my own race. One of my teammates' dad came up to me, and I grew up in church. He knew I grew up in church. Like we knew each other. He knew like. This is stupid. It was unnecessary. It was dumb. Because he's like, you nervous? I'm like, yeah, a little bit. It's all right. I'm good. And he's like, just run for Jesus, Philip. You'll never look at it the same way again. I'm like, thanks. I thought I was running for freaking Nelson Mandela. Like, I was so confused. Thank you so much for clarifying for me.
For the
Mandela.
Republic.
Jesus. You know what? I don't like
For
when
the
people
horde.
weaponize prayer too, because Tanner and I have talked about this too. Like when somebody's losing an argument and
I'll pray for you. I'll
pray
when
for
they're
you.
done, yeah, they'll be like, it's okay, I'll pray for you. And I'm like, no, come back, come
Be
back.
like, I'll pray for you too.
I'm going to pray for your
Let's let
broken
our
nose
prayers-
that I'm about to
Yeah,
give you.
Our prayers are going to duke it out just like us in the back.
I do my praying with my hands.
Catch these prayer hands, baby.
Catching prayer hands. Oh, Phil, that needs to be a shirt.
I just figured out.
Catch these prayer hands.
You
Catch
could
these prayer hands, baby.
you could do one word per
You could just do
finger.
pray.
Just say, that would work too. That would actually be better. I was gonna say, I am praying for you.
Knuckle
I'm
sandwich.
praying for you. I'm praying for you.
Thoughts and prayers, baby.
You got thoughts written on one hand, prayers written on the other.
Give you some thoughts and prayers. You're thunder and lightning.
That's like Carl Urban on Thor Ragnarok. Like, I've got death and joy. You put it together, they destroy.
We could make like a comedy. We should make a movie. We should make a comedy
my
movie where these
God.
guys
I'm gonna order
It'll
a
be
custom.
like, what was it?
I'm
The,
order a custom pair of boxing gloves.
Oh,
Thoughts and
yes.
prayers.
Great.
it'll be in the same vein as what is
my
it?
gosh.
Velocipaster.
Yeah.
That movie.
Yep.
It doesn't take
same
itself too
quality as
seriously.
well.
Sharknado. That,
Oh,
Same
man.
budget. Same budget.
yeah, it'll have the budget. What's the gosh, what is with the really goofy dude? He's like, gosh, Tina,
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Where they just didn't have a budget and somehow it got famous.
All right, I got to take a step off because of what you just reminded me of. You know Chit, right? That office. Did you see the finale?
I watched about half of it
Yeah.
and then I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I didn't get to finish watching it.
Okay, so
I was tired while I was watching videos.
so I just saw the TikTok of like the clothes being like bought out or whatever. I don't want to spoil it, but there's someone really awesome in that.
Okay.
Someone, a known actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
A
'Cause
known
you
actor
told me you
shows
watched
up.
it, right?
Yeah.
Told me I
Oh,
need to
you
watch
watched
it.
Also, I'm very disappointed.
not
I
ready
did
for
not get a single Do It Lady for my birthday.
Oh.
Y'all,
I failed you.
just saying.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody wants a sound bit of the.
I don't know if I have. I need to make one. I should create
That
oh,
is
okay.
that would be a good
That's-
one.
Like,
I need
come
to create
on,
that
guys.
one.
lady.
Do It Lady. All of it.
All of it.
On your birthday.
I'm gonna have to create that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
On a more
right.
serious
this is
note,
actually perfect because just so you guys know, if you actually listen to every episode, next week's episode is gonna sound weird because mid-episode we decided, oh yeah, it's gonna come out on the September 24th.
Yeah.
But we had already pre-planned, and Phil and I had already talked about that we were going to do an episode for that day specific. So don't be really confused when a week from today, when you're listening to this, that all of a sudden we're talking about it and saying it's September 24th again. It's just because Phil wasn't here and couldn't remind me that we had already discussed that we were going to have an episode for this. So don't be confused. But today we're going to be doing, and I'll let you share it since you came up with the title.
okay, so since 3 to 4 days
more
from now,
confused now.
based upon
It'll
our
be when this releases, so the day they listen to it.
based on
Phil.
if the hypothesis, the idea, the possibility of our previous episode about the potential rapture date is coming up in like 3 or 4 days here now. We thought that it would be appropriate to do a Hitchhiker's Guide to Surviving the Tribulation episode. So if you are hearing this and you are confused as to why a few million, hopefully a few 100 million, maybe most people disappeared off the face of the earth, we're going to explain to you why and what's going on and what to look for and how to make sure that you get to eventually join them in the better place than here.
Yeah. So, so to start out this episode of the Hitchhiker's Guide to Surviving the Tribulation, don't panic. Well, you can panic a little.
Kind of a devious laugh.
You can
though.
panic a little bit,
such
but just
a-
make
I
sure
just
the
like the
Antichrist
reference.
can't see it, okay?
Was that meant to be the reference? Okay, thank you. I'm just making sure.
Okay. Now that we've established that, first step is you need to acknowledge the awkward disappearance of billions of people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
People disappeared. Now,
Yeah.
of course, this is with the idea that we're playing tongue-in-cheek as though it is assumed it's a pre-trib rapture. Don't come at me, Commandy. We had this conversation.
You catch some thoughts and prayers, baby.
Let me...
Thoughts and prayers. Oh man! Oh man!
That's
But
my new favorite.
let me have this, okay? I don't even want this, but we're just having fun, okay? Okay, so just let yourself have fun, Commandy. Like,
Wow.
let yourself
Chill.
have fun listening to it.
Chill, vibe,
So
take your hands off the keyboard.
we're pretending as though the rapture is pre-tribulation. Whether or not you agree with the theology, this is the episode we're pretending, okay? Okay.
If we're wrong, it won't matter in a few days, and
So-
we can acknowledge it.
Yeah, your neighbor that comes off a little too Christian, that is just, telling you that she's praying for you, she disappeared. Where did she go? Yeah, it's awkward.
Super Christians go.
What do you do? Do you go in and take their TV?
Well, here's
All
like
the super Christians are going, and
real
we're
quick. This
staying
might
here.
be off topic, but I know there's different viewpoints on this. Do they disappear or do they just like elevate to the clouds? I know some people think that's what's going to happen. Is that everybody just gets sucked up into the sky. Some people think they disappear. I don't know.
We don't know either.
Well, either
But
way,
if all
they
of a
won't
sudden-
be here anymore.
There's different
I want to be
depictions of
outside.
it.
If I'm getting raptured and sucked up in the clouds, I want to be outside. I don't want to get slammed into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Did you see somebody
He's
posted
sitting
the
on-
rapture
sitting on
roof?
the toilet. Gets raptured while he's sitting in the bathroom. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But if everybody just disappears and you step out on your front porch and there's just a pile of your mailman's
I
clothes,
was gonna say,
don't worry, he's not streaking.
That's the.
It's now your job to
That's
pick up the packages
Jerry
and deliver
Jenkins
them. Okay?
left behind. That's
Yeah.
their
Yes.
like you get snapped like Thanos, except it's more sudden, like a poof. And
Are we
then,
Yes.
leaving
then the
clothes
cloud,
behind? 'Cause
the
Thanos-
clothes just go flying.
Thanos, the clothes went too.
Yeah.
The clothes.
Yeah.
That's true, that's true.
You turn into a
Not left
rocket ship
behind.
like in Pilgrim's Progress.
So this is how I want the rapture to happen. Like if I was writing the Bible, I didn't catch it. I'll catch it in the
you
re-listen. If I was the one writing this, thank God that I'm not. But if it was me, we would all hear at the same time, everywhere in the world, Leroy Jenkins, and then you'd hear the doo-doo. And then we would
I
just
like this story.
Oh my gosh! It just went. It just went in
I
heaven.
like this story.
There we go.
and then in a fit of irony, Hell's Bells would start playing just
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Okay.
Just everywhere on earth. It just confused the crap out of the people that aren't saying, like, is that Hell's Bells? Why would Hell's what? That doesn't
Did you hear that? Was that a train?
yeah,
It sounded like trumpets.
what's going on?
Imagine the people getting raptured or going up slowly and hearing "Stairway to Heaven."
Well, how weird though. So you hear the trumpets. Somebody getting left behind.
Everybody
Somebody
left
getting left
behind.
behind hears the trumpet. You know, they hear the trumpet and they're like, Steve, did you hear that trumpet? And they turn and Steve isn't there anymore.
Steve.
Now, how confusing. And Steve's the name
yeah.
of choice today. I don't. Sorry to any Steves out there. That's the name I'm going with today.
Steve.
Why are you apologizing to
Steve.
Steve? Steve's in heaven at that point.
Oh, that's not Steve.
Alan. No. Yeah.
What?
That's
It's actually backwards.
Steve.
Yeah, it's-
Alan. That's
Steve
not
with a PH.
Steve. That is Steve.
Alan.
Steve.
Memes. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you survived. Now, the thing is,
Survived?
that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
Okay?
you're still alive.
Don't
Not
go
good.
loot your neighbor's house that was Christian and quote unquote didn't survive. Like, don't make the same mistake twice. You don't want to survive twice. That sounds so bad. So,
my
step
goodness.
2. Beware of the guy who, like, he's handsome. He speaks really eloquently. He's promising you free groceries, free Wi-Fi, free, TV the size of your wall. He's offering you all these cool freebies and stuff. And he's like, all you gotta do is just you gotta worship me. Okay. And then you get all this free stuff. Like, watch out for that guy. He's not a good thing.
But also be careful of worship because he's probably not going to use the word worship.
Right.
You
He'll
know,
probably be, that's true.
subscribe or
Somebody seems a little too awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Not good. All the awesome people, all the truly awesome people, are gone. So don't fall for awesome people. They're not really awesome.
If said subscription to the free products contract, if the free subscription includes taking a mark on your hand or your forehead or a chip or a barcode or the sign of CERN,
Get ready to get hungry.
because CERN is 666.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Yeah, get ready to get hungry.
Don't do it.
Just
Don't do it.
If okay, I'll put it this way: if you're having a good time, you're probably screwing up.
Yes.
Once you buckle up, Buttercup, it's going to be a rough 7 years.
Yes.
Like you're not going to
Yes.
have a good time.
Well, that's step 4. Let's go to step 3 first.
Okay.
Step 3 is if you don't
Suffering
own,
doesn't begin immediately.
there's a small chance you don't own a Bible because that's possibly part of the reason that you survived. So now would be a good time to go find one. But the problem is they're probably not going to be in stores at this point. So now you are probably going to go after.
This is all going to happen within the next week.
Yeah, I don't know.
All of a sudden,
This they're just gone. Well, probably not in America, but in China they are.
I like that survival in this case isn't you don't want to survive.
right.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind
Because it means your soul's still up for
Well,
I
grabs.
like the
Real
flip of it.
real talk though. If like the Walking Dead world is gonna pop up,
Yeah.
I'd rather just go out in the first, like in the when they like
Early.
bomb the city.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'd rather like
Yeah.
I don't.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Let's skip all of that crap
Yeah.
that I'm gonna have to
Yeah, I
go
don't.
through.
Right.
if
Like,
I'm
let's
alive.
make sure my whole family's in my car with me, and like, okay, like, you know. But
If I see a bunch of cars suddenly like flying off the roadway because nobody's driving them now, I'm gonna try to get in front of one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
but
Oh no, that bus is gonna hit me. Crap.
So yeah. So all of your neighbors that didn't survive, we'll just put it that way, that disappeared or turned to dust or whatever we decide to
Started levitating.
They
high.
probably are okay with you going and taking their Bible. I think this is the one thing that you're allowed to take. Go ahead, just pray about it, ask God, go take it.
Is stealing a Bible, is that still considered stealing?
I don't know. On my Bibles, I wrote on the front cover like,
Or is that a
Hey.
assumed gift?
that's.
If
I
you
assume
take
it's a
my
gift.
Bible, that was a gift to you.
I do that.
Okay,
If
I like that.
if I have like my Bible, because I have a car Bible, if somebody steals my car Bible, it literally is written in the front that's like it says, if you stole this, keep it. You need it. More than I did.
It reminds me when
I write that in my car Bible.
Dude, I literally remember thinking that after we got our car broken into and stuff taken when we were in Omaha, when I was in there for the state spelling bee when I was in like 6th grade. Some like they stole our Bible, and
lots of
we were like, well, hopefully they read it.
They need it more than me.
So, and that's what growing up. That's something that our mom always taught us too. If somebody stole something, we're like, I guess they needed it more than we needed it.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
we didn't have the anger and the all that stuff with it. So
Yeah,
that was a
exactly.
cool lesson as a kid.
Yeah, helped you to not get
Yeah.
angry about.
Phil,
stuff like
is there
that.
anything you didn't do like in school? Because you were a high achiever, man.
It was a
You know,
small
awesome
school.
story. It was like I finished in the top 10.
I went to the
How
state
many
science
kids?
meet too.
There was 8 of us.
13, thank you.
Excuse me.
Oh man.
All right. Okay, so now you probably want to start stockpiling like you're on a budget show. Like just stockpile.
What do we
If
stockpile?
you've watched any like Naked and Afraid or Bear Grylls or anything like that,
It's probably why you didn't get
incorporate that. Wow, shots fired. If you've watched any survival shows, like wilderness survival
Survivor
stuff,
doesn't count.
no, that doesn't. No, that's more like American Ninja Warrior, but in a loincloth is what that is.
You know what's funny?
I about made Courtney spit again.
So real quick, combining some of those. What if you survive this thing and part of that package is because, a quarter or a half of the world disappeared, and so now there are no resources, there's no thing. So this charismatic character steps in and says, hey, since none of this stuff is being produced anymore, guess what we have? And we're going to give it to you for the discount price of your soul.
Yeah. You
Sign
almost
this contract.
you almost said something that I think is actually like oddly on point, because you were trying
I
to
do
say
that sometimes.
charismatic and you slipped a little bit when you said it, and it sounded like you said charismagic.
Uh-huh. Is that another
Bro,
word?
not it is now, and
yep.
it's
Because
the
we know what it
definition of the
means.
Antichrist.
It's a made-up word, but if you know what it
Charismatic.
means, it's a real word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's for real. Also, yeah, there's, and not everywhere on earth is going to be hit the same with the tribulation. I feel like I think a lot of times we have this mindset like everywhere on earth is going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, no, I don't.
And I don't think so. I think the areas, the high population, high density areas, especially like Middle East and in the super authoritative, ultra like communism with a costume on countries, are going to be significantly worse than the lower populated areas. And like if tribulation were to start today, I think that it would affect us here in Nebraska significantly less than it would people in Jerusalem.
Right.
Caleb
had an interesting point. Look, Caleb, old pug-faced killer on our Discord. Caleb, he had an interesting thought that just kind of passed, and it made me think, and it was late enough, I just sat and thought and let it kind of simmer for a little bit. He said, what if nuclear war starts, World War III starts, nuclear war starts, we hit a nuclear holocaust, and the rapture happens in that moment. So the world has no idea that the rapture actually happened. Because all of those people disappear as part of the rapture,
plausible
and
that
they
they were
blame it
just
on the
killed.
nuclear holocaust. And so all those people move into the cities to get their resources and things together, and then this leader emerges to try to bring the world back together.
So
That was an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Like
World-
being caught up in the clouds.
Dude,
I was
good
like,
question.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Seriously.
nuclear mushroom clouds.
right.
Like you get pulled up into the clouds. Like I was like, that's interesting,
That
because
is
that would hide. And then the demons come in, but we invite them as aliens. You know,
Right,
whoever's
'cause they
running the
wanna
government invites them in as aliens,
the
saying,
earth.
"Oh, these are the aliens coming to help us on Earth."
Because we
but it's
killed
not
our- yeah.
aliens, and we and the people that are stuck behind accept that, and they don't realize what actually happened.
So if tribulation, so in order for that to happen, rapture would have to happen at the halfway point of tribulation, because that's when the war would break out.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
Andy, quote me on that. Yeah, because the start of tribulation is a peace agreement,
yes.
and so
And that was a question we had on the thing too. Was tribulation like a moment, or was it like a span of time? And we had to clarify all that. So,
it's a span of 7 years, 2,550 days to be exact.
Write that on your calendar. If you're
Yeah.
if everybody just or a bunch of people just disappeared.
Yep.
Hey, you just got to
mark
count.
that.
You just got to count to 2,550. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Class of
I'm pretty
2032.
sure.
Tribulation.
Pretty sure ChatGPT
Yeah,
can help you with that. I don't think
Yeah,
you
for
have
real.
to do all of the manual counting.
Unless ChatGPT is the Antichrist, and then it probably won't help you.
Wow. Okay. What's our next step?
Yeah, so you're stockpiling. You learn to grow potatoes. Potatoes are a very resilient crop. That do you know? Fun fact. You know, we talk about how all the Irish came over to America because of the potato famine. Did you know that there wasn't actually like a full-blown famine?
Yeah.
But the reason why it was a potato famine, the reason why they had to leave Ireland, it was because England had already taken all of the rest of their goods, and they were forcing the Irish to eat and survive off of potatoes.
Right.
And so when there was a potato famine, they already didn't have all of the rest of their goods that they needed to survive a potato famine. So then it affected their country. Fun fact.
Yep.
Anyway, talk about oppression.
So the actual famine caused a potato famine.
Well,
The man-made
them,
it was
it was a
It
man-made
was a
famine
manufactured
because
famine.
Europe
Yeah.
had already taken all
Hey,
of their
you're
goods.
only allowed
Yeah.
to eat honey from honeybees from now on. We're taking everything else you have. Hey, the bees stopped producing honey. What do we do now? Leave. Okay.
Yep. That's pretty much, that's basically what happened. Fun fact. A lot of people don't know that.
Interesting.
Dude.
Europe and food has been
Europe-
kind of interesting.
Europe sucks.
And Ireland's like right there. And it's like, I just think about like, I don't know, just like people who are like for England when America declared independence. And it's like, if England was treating Ireland, who's right there, that poorly, how would they have treated America? You know,
Not great. Which is kind of why we decided to give them the finger.
And it's almost like all of the other countries on Earth decided the same thing. Oh, anyway.
Except for
yeah,
Germany,
England, they were
foreshadowing
everywhere.
much.
I think
England had their fingers in everything.
even Britain decided that. They were like, Brexit, I'm out.
yeah.
The British don't even like the British. Anyway, yeah. So stockpile, grow potatoes, collect rainwater without looking suspicious. That might be the hard part.
Why would it matter if you were looking suspicious?
Because if you're collecting rainwater, that means you didn't take the mark because it's not being provided for you.
Oh, wouldn't potatoes fall in that same?
Yep, you got to grow them so you don't look suspicious.
So you grow them.
These weeds.
like weeds.
These weeds keep growing in my backyard.
See, now the potato thing makes more sense because I'm like, why? There's other veggies. Why wouldn't you?
You probably want to start pretending that like squirrel tastes good. Find a few recipes.
Have you ever had squirrel?
No, I haven't.
Me neither.
I haven't had squirrel. I've had frog legs. Frog legs are fire.
I bet it would.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah, but I would say I bet.
I mean, people
it's a
eat squirrel.
rodent.
It's not that weird.
Rabbits.
Right.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
Plenty of those around.
Probably
never
wouldn't be
had
too
rabbit
crazy.
either.
I've had rabbit.
I've always wanted to try rabbit. I haven't tried
Rabbits. It's not bad. It's greasy. It's very meaty. Very meaty.
Yep.
Low
Had
fat.
gator.
I love gator.
Gator's pretty good.
Gator.
It's a weird, that's a weird meat. Gator's
Yeah.
a weird meat.
It's gator is it tastes like fish chicken.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it tastes like if you brine your chicken in like fish sauce,
In, like,
and,
fish water. Yeah.
Huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
like lake water.
It's
Wow.
so good. If you like fish,
I do.
Yeah, it has a
Then you'll
fishy
love
taste
gator.
to it, but it's chicken
It's-
like with a fishy kind
yeah.
of.
Have you ever
punch to it.
finished eating fish and you're like, man, I just wish there was more fish because you can only cook
I
so
feel
much.
that way about most things.
Right. So eating gator.
I'm a hungry boy.
For real though. Gator is not quite like that because there's a ton of meat. So you get your fill on the meat.
Huh.
Whereas fish, you don't usually get your fill on it.
Right.
Get your fill.
Interesting.
Phil, get a fill.
Fill, get a fill. All right. This is the hard part.
Okay.
Find a group of people who don't look like the normal people who have already sold out. It's like, find people who are suspicious like you.
Yeah, I was going to say,
But
look
not
for
too
people who are a little bit
suspicious.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, because if they're too suspicious...
So find the rebels amongst the stormtroopers. That's
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
be very careful that you didn't accidentally find people who are secretly posing as rebels so that they can rat you out to the stormtrooper.
Or just don't worry about that and follow Christ openly and get killed.
That works too. Do that.
You can
That
do
was-
that.
stay
That's an
away-
option.
That is
Stay
an
away
option.
from the
That's,
Lando Calrissians.
Again,
is what you're
I guess-
saying. No,
I guess-
no Landos.
yeah, I guess the
Okay,
point.
I got you.
The point of the tribulation is to not survive it.
Or to, I mean, if you make it to
Well,
the...
here's the thing.
Because technically speaking, you don't necessarily want.
But think about it. Eternal life, wouldn't that be the ultimate survival?
Yes.
So eternal life. So it is survival beyond survival is
Yes.
what we're going for.
You are looking beyond this life to survive.
I feel like there's less.
But your
steps
job
to
isn't
that
to
one.
get killed.
right.
Your
You know-
job is to help other people get killed with you.
It doesn't
Yes,
sound
your
like
job is
getting
your job
killed.
is to bring all of these people into your group so you all get taken out.
But it doesn't sound like it's getting killed though, because like every interpretation I've heard of the Revelation, and all of the prophecies of it don't make it sound like it's getting killed.
right,
You're getting removed. You're getting like
forcibly removed.
Whatever it is that happens, whatever your physical fate is going to be,
yeah
because
like you're
of
getting
your
phased
belief in
or
Jesus
whatever.
and your willingness and resolve to follow him, you want as many people to join you in that suffering endeavor as possible.
right.
You know, and I'm just gonna go,
Because it's going to, that's how you end up not surviving.
right. And I'm going to go on a
You
limb.
just made that deep.
For real.
I don't even know if it was right. I think I screwed it up.
It sounded
maybe.
good.
It
I
was,
was invested. Go.
Phenomenal. This whole thing's probably heresy anyway. But
We're gonna do a lot of praying.
My
in the
mom's
room.
going to be so disappointed in her execution of
gosh.
this idea.
oh no, this is perfect because
This is great.
this
Make
is
light- you can't do anything about it. So let's
Well,
make light of it.
and
I know.
my thought process.
This might be just
on-
comedy enough
take
that
that
it
back.
gets through.
Exactly. That was kind of what I was thinking was
I like it.
It wouldn't get immediately banned because of how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Right.
And so hopefully it would stay if there were, whether the rapture is on this.
There's truth in
today
this. Do
or
listen,
10
but
years from now.
don't take
Yeah.
this too
and I said
seriously.
you can't do
Right.
anything about it, but I take that back. There's a lot you can do about it.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think that whatever. I got so tongue tied. The Christians who are on earth, who give their life to Christ after, if the rapture were to be like pre-trib or mid-trib, the Christians who come to Christ, because there will be people who come to Christ
People
during
who
the
know
tribulation.
but haven't committed.
Right. People who do give their life to Christ during the tribulation, I feel like they're going to be like superpower.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
God's going to be like full blown, you have the power. Because, I mean, think about it like this. Like, the cost to give your life to Christ during tribulation would be so much
Way
higher
higher
than
than
cost
what we're
any of
paying.
it.
Yeah.
You're going to be, you're
You're either
really,
in or you're out.
You're really a believer at that point.
Yep.
And I feel like the Holy Spirit empowerment that would fall upon those people, because it even talks about the saints and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, the saints that in tribulation are like superpower. Like they're like they've got all of the gifts of the Spirit like on steroids. Like they're ready.
It'd almost
to go.
be like Old Testament type power, walking through fire. Like they would. I feel like they would have that kind of shielding in that situation.
I want to share something just slightly controversial, but I think it's important for this episode. And I think people are listeners that actually like.
I'm excited. I like controversy.
Okay, so when Charlie Kirk was assassinated and it got pushed out everywhere instantly, like everybody saw the videos, right?
Yeah,
within minutes.
They couldn't keep it under
within
wraps.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, and then people began to quote unquote celebrate. Now, whether that was just a few people, the radical whatevers, there were people celebrating. My theory is that part of the reason the algorithm didn't check it and instead sent it out to everyone was that Charlie Kirk was a trial run for when the saints get executed. And they push it out because the Bible talks about how when the saints get executed, that they will be seen across all of earth at the same time and that it would be celebrated in the streets, basically. I think that they intentionally not only allowed it, but maybe even pushed it as a trial run for when the saints are killed during tribulation.
Wow. That's a theory.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
It makes sense to me.
I don't know if I know a single person who didn't see Charlie Kirk get assassinated.
What an awful thing. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And looking at like all over the world.
Yeah.
Like there was in South Korea, we saw demonstrations. We saw demonstrations in France, in Europe, in China.
And
we saw
from people that had
New
never
Zealand.
didn't even have any idea who he was were like, I don't know, seeing somebody in that instant, their life being taken. It doesn't matter who they are, what they're about. Right? Seeing someone's life end violently like that, it doesn't matter. Like it hit people,
and it was
it was effective.
It was sent everywhere.
Send a message. You know, whatever that message was.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
it was sent everywhere.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
And I don't think that was the algorithm not being able to catch it. I think that was an intentional sending.
Well, and I shared on the Discord too. I found a bunch of statistics and stuff, and how many of those bots are designed to put negative things out. Like so many of those things, they're designed to do that.
It's almost like it's designed for a purpose.
I can't even imagine what the purpose would be.
It's almost like that was a trial run.
Phil, there's so much sarcasm in the room right now. Can you feel it?
Yeah. I'm swimming in it.
Don't look suspicious. Be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
What?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Well, there's the intro.
Good call. Okay, I gotta write that down.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Okay, continue.
So, what is the point that we are at here? Is this are we about wrapped up on what's coming down the pipe for this whole event? 7-year, 25, 50-day martyrdom extravaganza.
Yeah. So the last step is hold on to the seat of your pants, because it's gonna get crazy. There's gonna be wars, world wars, rumors of wars in places that have never seen wars.
So
shift
gears for a second. I don't want to go too far or too deep, because I'm sure we have a whole nother list of things. This is all assuming that rapture happens and, Christians are pulled up at, before all this stuff happens. Imagine how different that's going to look if the rapture doesn't happen until after.
Agreed.
Well, and then we'll be around to expound upon this further, and we can give a more detailed guide.
Yes, and join the Discord, because we'll have the long conversations.
And you talked about the people that are left behind in the first scenario being able to prove themselves. If it happens afterwards, that is a crazy time for Christians to have to prove themselves.
Yep.
In a world where they are forced to choose sides.
Yeah, and to kind of
that's scary.
Yeah, to kind of put a little cap end on that, or end cap on that, that I think it is extremely important for Christians to know theology well enough, and it doesn't take long to learn this. And I'm not talking like you need to learn it like I know it. I'm thinking more along the lines of learning it like Phil knows it. Like,
ouch.
no,
No,
that's a very, because I feel like you have a very healthy understanding of what could happen if rapture is not a real thing and we have to go through tribulation. Yep. And that the rapture, well, I mean, I guess it would be the real thing, but it would be an in tribulation or mid trib rapture. I think understanding and have a good running understanding of Revelations and Daniel, because there's actually probably there's more end time scriptures on end time things that would happen in Daniel than in Revelation. So know Daniel as well. And have at least a little glimpse of an idea of what this would be like, because if the tribulation starts, one of the first things they're probably going to start banning is the Bible. China. They're starting to ban all this stuff. So you're not going to have access to this information if Bibles are banned. So have a running knowledge of it ahead of time. I think it's extremely important for you to have an idea of what is going to happen. And don't be dumb, and be hopeful for a pre-trib rapture, because I'm hopeful for a pre-trib rapture, but know the theology well enough to know, because my question is always, why is it there if it's not important?
Yeah. I would also say, maybe even the most important thing, or at least the very second most important thing, well above everything else, is get in touch with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Because, I'm aware that I'm toying with the lid on Pandora's box here as far as thing that we could open up a big can of worms with this, but with the point that we're at in technology, I had a final question I was going to ask both of you guys, and it was, who is a public figure that if they disappeared without explanation, you'd be like, oh, I think the thing happened and I missed it?
Phil, it's you.
I'm not a public figure.
You are.
Try again.
You are a public figure, whether you like it or not. You're a very public figure.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever. Anyway,
if you disappeared,
I'll take
you'd be
it.
like,
Anyway.
where's
the cops?
So I was thinking it was like someone who's like
all
pretty famous,
go ahead.
well known by most people, that if they disappeared, you'd be like, oh, snap. But then the thought entered my head that they can manufacture an explanation. I can't wait to hear what you just said when I listen to this back. But it occurred to me that they can manufacture an explanation, and at this point, they could AI a video that would probably be convincing enough that you believe it. And so I was like, ooh. Yeah. So how are you supposed to feel certain? And like with Caleb's thought of like, if we enter into a nuclear, a crap ton of people die, how are you going to know the difference between, everybody that was a Christian happened to die, and on the evil side, they don't want anybody. No, they want to muddy the waters. They want to muddy the waters. Yeah. So that question is really good. That thought exercise is really smart, and dude, applause, Kip, seriously, for that thought. Like, that is a brilliant thought, because I could totally see him doing that. Because what better
way to mask it,
dude?
Not let people see it, because you see a miracle
genius.
like that where people disappear.
Yeah.
If you weren't praying, you start praying.
Yeah. So how do you block that?
It happen,
how do you? It's misgestion.
Yeah.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
Dude, that is it. Like, oh snap! Everybody just got killed that believed in Jesus. Coincidentally, don't pay any attention to that. It's total misdirection.
Like
Classic
I said, when he threw it out there, it was late enough. I wanted to ask questions.
Oh man,
about
dude.
It. I was like, it's so late, I don't want to bug anybody. So I just sat there and stewed on that for a while. I was like, I never thought about that.
But yeah, so
I want to push really quickly.
Go for it.
If you haven't yet read Courtney's short story, Golden Hour, go on to her website, CourtneySherlock.com, and I think it's .com. And
pretty sure
download it and read it, because she has a full book that is getting ready to come out, and it's going to be coming out soon. And she does a phenomenal job at going into, just put it this way, I'll let her explain it.
She had to go take it over, baby. That's why she's not plugging herself right now.
But she goes into, and it's a fictional story, but it tells a story, and it kind of goes into like some of the ways that that things like that could happen towards that season of our life, or towards tribulation, towards nearing the end, how it could look.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of different ways that I feel like the deception could happen, because we've talked about Project Bluebeam. You know, they could talk about like Caleb's theory of the nukes and that kind of stuff. But one way or another, there is going to be deception, whether or not rapture is pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib. There's going to be a lot of demonic deception. These guys have been prepping for this for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They're going to pull out all the stops. Is that the term? Not going to pull out all the stops.
No, they're pulling out all the stops.
Pulling out all the stops.
You got it right.
And they're going to create a show. And if back during, the Moses time, and if the demons could turn blood to water and replicate all of these things, turn a staff to a snake, they could do all these signs. Imagine what they've been trying to perfect for the last next 4,000 years. They've got some tricks up their sleeves. They're ready to, they've been prepping for this thing for thousands and thousands of years. And what it'll always look like, demonic deception always looks like truth. It always looks like power, but it is just a glimpse of the real power, of the real truth. And they try to veil it behind that.
Yeah.
The magic in real magic is not making it look like magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making deception
It'll be,
not look, that's real deception, is making the magic not look like magic.
And I truly believe the reason why so many people will take the mark is because I think whatever the deception is, it will be so good that the only way to fully recognize it will be the influence of God and the Holy Spirit in your life.
Yep.
And that discernment from God will be what tells us, like, hey, this is a show.
Yep.
This is fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it, if people see your ability to pick that out, that could be very influential as well.
Yeah.
That could be powerful. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to the two things that you need to do in order to get through the tribulation and make it to heaven.
Yeah.
Is read your Bible.
Yep.
And pray.
Yep. Spend time with God.
That's it.
And
we just did a 45-minute podcast on two things.
and a big part of my journey, spend less time talking, looking for answers, and more time listening.
Ooh.
That's a good policy for everything.
You know,
and I
step
don't
back
care what you're
and
talking about.
just open up and just listen. Because sometimes we spend so much time talking, trying to find answers.
Listening's
we forget
great.
to listen to the answers. So
Yep.
Yeah, listen. That's solid.
It's easy
I think
to
that's
say coming from a bunch of people who just talk a lot.
unless it's Phil, we enjoy, especially with his accent. You need
Crikey,
to
mate.
always listen to.
Could be a rough 7 years coming up.
I think that's a powerful end.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
And so with that, don't forget to be your BA best. Good job.
Say it.
Don't
You gotta
forget
say-
to be your biblically accurate best.
Say it with an accent.
Don't forget to be your biblically accurate best, mate. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully, I'll see y'all in person in about 3-4 days here. Coming right up.
w.com w.gg BA Bigfoot and okay, bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?